don't necessarily think the emphasis on suicide prevention is as helpful as suicide awareness. Every September, I traditionally do talks about suicide to loved ones that have lost people to suicide. I emphasize that none of us are mind readers. None of us are. And being on the other side of it, maybe it's an occupational hazard being a clinician, right? Friends, family, anybody that I love that's suffering, I feel responsibility for. And he was just magnetic, really. And we all describe him as the most joyful, the most engaging, the most expressively loving person that if any one of us had any inkling or any word or any clue that he would take his life, we would move mountains to prevent it. There's always going to be questions and never answers. And so that makes death by suicide, I think, hard. I wish I had this magic formula, the instruction manual because I do think that we're talking about impulsive things. We're talking about moments of struggle and darkness. And how do we help each other get to the other side of that? And when you have nothing to reference, when you're a young person with no life experience other than everything is a first, then you have no frame of reference unless you share what's going on with another person. The first thing that comes to mind is that normalizing, right? Being able to say, you know what's normal? Having a thought about suicide. Like, sometimes it's really normal, and it's not about necessarily wanting to die. Oftentimes it's so much about not wanting to live like this. You know, we can very easily be incredibly isolated with no sense of what our peers are going through, really. And it's really hard to be vulnerable and let your guard down when you may end up having developed this amazing reputation as being the life of the party. And maybe that's a great reminder for any of your life of the party friends to say, hey, just letting you know, you don't ever have to be the life of the party with me. Just giving ourselves and each other permission to just be real. If you're concerned about other people in your life and concerned about your loved ones, be the one to seek out help and tell them about it. I want you to know that I've sought help myself. I think that can be such a powerful message and such a powerful modeling. EAP, it may not be the end-all, be-all, right? But it certainly can provide a very powerful first step. It's separate from insurance, so they don't have to necessarily be concerned about that. It's for household members. It's for dependents up to the age of 26. To me, it's a catch-all where no one has to fall through the cracks. We can start talking about some of these things like we talk about the weather, like we talk about anything else, like we talk about good food, you know, talking about things like hopelessness and not being a mind reader and wanting each and how valuable we are to one another and the impact. Share while you can the impact that somebody has on you. Do it now.